Even though you've gone to great lengths to see that your farm is as safe a work environment as you can make it, the very nature of the work presents potential safety hazards that all farm workers need to be aware of. So let's take a moment and talk about a few of the potentially dangerous situations to avoid in order to assure the safety of you and your farm workers. Every year, people who enter grain bins are engulfed and trapped in grain. It takes only seconds to be entrapped, and over 50% of these entrapments result in death. Grain entrapment is often caused by grain that goes out of condition, resulting in clumping, cones, pyramids, bridging, and other problems with bin unloading. When this happens, people frequently enter bins because the grain does not flow smoothly through the system. Grain that has formed bridges or cliffs may collapse on a person, sometimes completely covering the person. People in bins may also get pulled under by flowing grain. This grain entrapment can cause suffocation and death. It's important for anyone who enters a grain bin to know what the hazards are and how to remain safe. Grain must be dried sufficiently and cooled properly if it's to remain in good condition while in storage. Always lock out and tag out all equipment before anyone enters a grain bin. Make sure everyone is properly trained and they follow all grain bin entry procedures. Grain augers can be very dangerous if not used properly. Due to the nature of their active moving components, the hydraulics, winches, and the auger itself, it will always pose a threat of serious injury if you are not careful in its use and maintenance. Stay clear of the auger when it is operating. Be sure to always use the lockout mechanism to shut the power off before you work on the auger. And be sure to tag out as well so others can see that someone is in the bins. Although rollover protection structures had been available for some time, they were not standard on all manufactured tractors until 1985. But many farmers are still using tractors that predate the requirement for built-in ROPS. Unless a retrofit ROPS unit and seatbelt are installed, the driver is unprotected if the tractor rolls over. And if an unprotected vehicle rolls over, an accident that results in a serious injury or death is very likely. Be aware, the greatest number of rollover accidents occurs on the small utility tractors compared to the large field tractors. But that doesn't mean you are completely safe when you enter the cab of a large modern tractor. You still need to wear your seatbelt. In an accident, you might be tossed about or possibly thrown through the window unless you are buckled up. To reduce the risk of injury or fatality while operating an ATV, follow these safety recommendations. ATVs are not toys. Manufacturers suggest children under the age of 12 should not operate ATVs with an engine size over 70 cc. Children under the age of 16 years often lack the emotional maturity and physical size to operate or control most machines. They should not operate adult-sized ATVs or those with an engine greater than 90 cc's. Never carry a passenger. The unique handling characteristics of an ATV require that the operator shift both weight and position on the seat to steer and control the vehicle. Extra riders hamper the operator's ability to steer and control the ATV. Since ATVs are small and low to the ground, they are not as visible as larger vehicles. Lights, reflectors, and highly visible flags should be used to increase visibility. Wear a helmet. Just because you're riding short distances on the farm out of traffic, a spill can still result in serious head trauma if the rider is not wearing a helmet. And lastly, but most important, the most hazardous behavior to try and avoid while working on the farm: fatigue. Being overly tired can cancel out all other cautions by becoming too weary to follow good practices or too tired to pay attention enough to spot potential dangers. If forced to work long hours, take frequent breaks and work with or be accompanied by someone else, and you'll be a whole lot safer.